Traditional economics teaches us about the Pareto principle, the 80-20ths rule. That 80 of your sales come from 20 of your products. It's a fundamental belief that the blockbusters, the best sellers, and the chart toppers are where true profits lie. But what if this bedrock principle of business is fundamentally flawed in the digital age? What if the real money is hiding, not in the hits, but in the obscure, the niche, the almost forgotten? What if the most successful companies of our time built their empires on the collective power of items that individually sell just a few copies a year? Consider companies like Amazon and Netflix. At first glance, they appear to deal in popular products, books, movies, consumer goods. Yet, their true strategic advantage, their massive valuation, and their seemingly limitless growth, stem from a concept far more subtle and powerful than simply selling what's popular. They harness the power of what's known as the long tail. It's a strategy that defies conventional wisdom. It redefines scarcity and abundance. So, how do Amazon and Netflix generate immense revenue, not just from blockbusters, but by making obscure items economically viable? How do millions of niche products, each selling infrequently, collectively become a financial juggernaut? That's the core question we will unlock today. For centuries, businesses operated under physical constraints. A bookstore had limited shelf space. A movie rental store could only stock so many DVDs. A television network had only 24 hours in a day. This scarcity forced a focus on the mainstream. Only the most popular items justified the cost of inventory, display, or broadcast time. If an item didn't sell quickly, it was removed to make space for a potential hit. This created an economy of hits. The physical world imposed a harsh economic reality. The cost of stocking an item, distributing it, or making it available was high. This meant only products with guaranteed demand, those expected to reach a large audience, were deemed viable. Obscure documentaries, independent music, or academic texts simply couldn't compete for valuable shelf space against the latest bestseller or Hollywood release. Then came the Internet. The digital revolution fundamentally altered this equation. Suddenly, the cost of storing a product, displaying it, or making it accessible plummeted. For digital goods like music or video, the cost of an additional copy is virtually zero. For physical goods, while there's still a warehousing cost, the display cost, the search cost, and the transaction cost fell dramatically. Amazon doesn't have to worry about running out of shelf space for a book published in 1950 with only a handful of annual buyers. Netflix doesn't need to choose between a popular new series and an obscure documentary from a decade ago. Both can exist simultaneously in an almost infinite digital catalog. This shift from physical scarcity to digital abundance is the fertile ground for the long tail. It allows businesses to cater to millions of individual tastes, rather than just the lowest common denominator. It transformed economics from a focus on limited supply to a celebration of unlimited choice. The long tail isn't just about having infinite shelf space, it's about making those obscure items discoverable and economically viable. This is where aggregation becomes critical. In the pre-internet era, if you were a fan of, say, 1970s Polish experimental jazz, finding new music was a monumental task. You might visit a specialized record store, hoping they had a niche selection, or rely on word of mouth. The market for such music was fragmented, tiny, and hard to reach. Online platforms act as aggregators. They consolidate demand from millions of geographically dispersed individuals, each with unique tastes. An item that might sell only one copy a year in a single physical store now sells one copy a year to 1,000 different people across the globe through a centralized online platform. Individually, these sales are tiny. Collectively, they become significant. Consider Amazon's vast catalog. The majority of its sales come from a relatively small number of best-selling products. However, the other half of its sales come from the collective sum of millions of unique products, each selling very few units. These are items that would never make it onto the shelves of a physical retailer. They exist solely because Amazon's platform aggregates global demand. Netflix operates similarly. While blockbuster movies and popular TV shows attract millions, a significant portion of its viewership comes from the cumulative effect of subscribers watching older films, niche documentaries, or foreign language series that would never get primetime slots on traditional television. Each individual stream might be rare, but their combined impact on total viewing hours and subscriber retention is immense. This aggregation isn't just about sales volume, it's about market efficiency. By reducing the search costs for consumers and the distribution costs for producers, these platforms unlock value in previously uneconomic markets. They connect supply and demand, no matter how specialized or small. Having millions of products is one thing, helping users find them is another. This is where sophisticated recommendation engines become the engine of the long tail. Without effective discovery tools, the vastness of the catalog would overwhelm consumers. It would be like walking into a library with no cataloging system. Amazon's customers who bought this item also bought, and Netflix's personalized recommendations are not just features, they are core strategic assets. These algorithms analyze user behavior, viewing habits, purchase history, and even demographic data to suggest items a user might like, often leading them deeper into the long tail. Imagine a Netflix user who watches a popular sci-fi film. The algorithm might then suggest a lesser-known sci-fi indie film, then an obscure cult classic from the 80s, and then a documentary about the history of special effects. Each step takes the user further into niche content they might never have discovered otherwise. These recommendations create a virtuous cycle. The more you consume, the better the recommendations become, and the more likely you are to discover more niche content. This discovery engine transforms potential obscurity into personalized relevance. It moves users from the head of the demand curve, the popular hits, into the tail, the niche products, by making these niche products accessible and appealing. For Amazon, this means suggesting a specialized textbook to an academic or a rare vinyl pressing to a music connoisseur. For Netflix, it means showing an animation enthusiast a critically acclaimed short film from a foreign country. The long tail doesn't just exist, it must be actively cultivated and curated through intelligent systems that connect consumers to products they didn't even know they wanted. This active cultivation is what turns the long tail from a vast, undifferentiated mass into a personalized, profitable landscape. The genius of the long tail also lies in its favorable economics, particularly for digital products, but even for physical ones when managed efficiently. For digital content, once a piece of content is created and uploaded, the marginal cost of distributing it to an additional customer is near zero. Netflix doesn't pay more to stream that obscure documentary to one more person. Amazon doesn't incur significant extra costs when a single, rarely purchased ebook is downloaded. This zero marginal cost dynamic means that even a few sales of a niche product, over time, can generate pure profit. There's no physical inventory to manage, no shelf space to defend, no returns to process. The collective revenue from millions of these microtransactions becomes incredibly powerful. Furthermore, the long tail significantly enhances customer lifetime value, CLTV. While blockbusters attract initial subscribers or purchasers, it's the depth and breadth of the catalog, the long tail, that often drives retention. A subscriber might join Netflix for a popular series, but they stay because they continuously discover new, personalized content, including those niche titles they can't find anywhere else. This variety caters to diverse and evolving tastes, making the service indispensable. For Amazon, the ability to find virtually any product, no matter how specialized, makes it the default shopping destination. You need a rare spare part for an antique appliance? Amazon likely has it. This comprehensive selection builds loyalty and ensures repeat business, even if the individual niche purchases are infrequent. The long tail isn't just about revenue, it's about building an ecosystem of unparalleled choice that locks in customers for the long term. And that's the profound secret of the long tail. It's not just about offering more choice. It's about overturning the fundamental economic principles of scarcity. By leveraging digital platforms, infinite shelf space, powerful recommendation algorithms, and near-zero marginal costs, companies like Amazon and Netflix have made it economically viable to serve millions of niche markets simultaneously. The blockbuster hits still grab headlines and drive initial adoption. But the vast majority of their inventory, the long tail of products that individually sell or stream infrequently, collectively constitutes a massive and stable revenue stream. These are the forgotten books, the obscure films, the specialized tools, each contributing a tiny but crucial piece to an immense mosaic of profit. The long tail proves that in the digital age, market share isn't just about dominating the hits, it's about owning the aggregate of everything else. It's a strategy that turns the unprofitable into the indispensable, building empires out of niches. What we learn from the long tail is a powerful lesson in adapting to new economic realities. It highlights that the internet doesn't just make existing markets more efficient, it creates entirely new ones. Businesses no longer need to chase mass appeal exclusively. They can thrive by serving specialized interests, by aggregating demand from a dispersed audience, and by making the obscure discoverable. The long tail isn't just a phenomenon, it's a strategic blueprint for abundance. It teaches us that true competitive advantage can come from embracing the margins, cultivating variety, and understanding that the sum of many small parts can far outweigh the impact of a few big ones. It is a testament to the power of infinite choice and intelligent curation. If you learn something new about how the digital economy truly works, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?